Right where the party center is where my great grandfather had a house right down there.
Talking about trees.
Huh? The other side.
So, yeah,
Are you live?
I think I'm live. Maybe I'm dead. I think I'm live. I didn't put no notifications up. I just thought I'd pop on here and just talk for a while.
Oh, now there it is. I see it. We appreciate all you guys.
So you're looking at an old map of Shreve, Shreve, Ohio.
There we go. We're gonna go
and
yeah.
It doesn't show where my house is. It shows where I used to live, though.
Yeah.
It showed it on the map.
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Donation.
All right.
Donations are what the turn it down guy gets. Donations.
Zoom it in.
Zoom it right onto it.
It's $522.
Right beside the railroad track. I used to live there, and the trains would go right beside me, and I could hear them coming all the way from Worcester. The trains. You can see in the background there the what is it? Resort TV One. They live chat or do a stream at Disney on Friday nights.
Very nice. Very nice.
This new version with the you can live stream right from your laptop. It's kind of cool. I can be really lazy. I can just kick back here and just live stream away. Usually I use I got my cell phone, just a cheap one. It don't do too bad to live stream. The processor is slower. I wish I could use my vlogging camera. That would be fun to live stream because it's got a really good picture on it. I thought I'd pop on here and just see if anybody pops up and chats with me tonight. Seems like a lot of the live streams don't get very many people coming on there just to chat with it. Sometimes Friday night. Friday night is, if you want to watch television, there's nothing on it. It's one of the worst nights for television. So I usually try to find other things to mess around with on Friday nights. I see one person, that must be me, that's on board. It must count me as one.
Really?
Yeah, because it says there's one person there on it. If you click on that and that do nothing there. That's pretty cool. I got it. I'm just using a regular microphone that's on the thing. Oh, there's Rick. Hi, Rick. How you doing? Where are you coming out?
That's the guy that's been writing to you, I think.
Oh, is it? Is it? Yeah, it is. That's who it is. It's Rick that we've been talking about the Cobra security camera system. I recognize the icon beside your name on it. So did you ever get your cell phone? Did you ever get your cell phone working on it? I've got several cell phones I've hooked up to it, plus an iPad. I've got laying right here. In fact, I hook it up to my iPad, and so I use this here too. You can hook that up. This acts like a cell phone because it's Android based. I think all those are Android, but you can actually, even on a iPad. I have a version on my iPad that I've hooked it up to, and they all pretty much work the same way. They can be tricky. So Rick, did you ever get yours working at all, or you talked about taking it back and exchange it for no, and you thought maybe it was one that had been used before? So I hear a deep over here. I was trying to figure out what's beeping me. Oh, okay, that's Sue. I haven't seen it. You haven't popped up there yet. Sometimes Sue, she'll set next to me. She'll chat with me and it pops up, but I don't see her online here yet.
Well,
on it
because I'm on.
Because she might not be on it.
Well, I'm on my laptop or my phone.
Oh, it still should pop up. Anyways, so yeah, those the Cobra system is really a cool system. It does take does take a little bit of thinking to get it set up. I enjoyed doing that, just monkeying around with it. So much of this stuff, the only way I know it is I play with it. Try this, try that, and find one that that works or doesn't work. Hey Rick, I see you have a drone in your background. You do any racing quads too, or you just have? I think it looks like you might have a Phantom 3. I believe that's what you told me you had. I fly drones, but I also fly racing quads, and I've built several of them there, and been so daggone cold, haven't been able to go out and fly any recently. Well, I could have, but it's been freezing. It's like today was a sunny day. We had quite a few days that we didn't even have any sun. That's really unusual for Florida, because Cleveland, is that Cleveland, Indiana? I see IN because we used to live just south of Cleveland, Ohio, on it, and even if it's Indiana, it's cold up there. But yeah, we're spoiled. Like I said, I haven't had any weather, or it's cloudy. It's like, we get a couple cloudy days. It's like you think the world's coming to an end. But tomorrow is supposed to be a little better, but it's supposed to be pretty chilly in the morning. I don't know what they're calling for the morning, probably 35, which that's extremely cold for this area. Our lows shouldn't be much lower than like 55 is pretty average this time of year. Tomorrow, or Sunday morning, I think they said the low will be 43. So I'm going to try to go out to our flying field. We have a flying field in Daytona Beach, and I'll probably take my Phantom 3 out with me, but I'll take some of my racing quads. We have a field set up with gates and stuff to fly through the gates and that, and we've got some airplanes too that we fly with FPV with the goggles on. They're a blast. They just you go taking off flying. It's like you want to just keep on going, but your signal from your camera on your airplane only goes so far, and you'll lose signal, and then you won't know where it's at. So that's crazy on it. So, but it's fun to fly it. It feels like you're flying a real airplane. And it's something, if you haven't tried, you have to try it. It's takes a little bit to get used to that too. Flying something RC line of sight is a little bit different than flying it through goggles on it. It's just kind of a different experience. Some of the best pilots take a little while to adjust to it, and you just one of those things like anything else. You got to keep at it till you get better at it. So yeah, one of these days they'll put something good TV shows on Friday night, and we watch a lot of YouTube. There's a couple that goes over to the parks here over to Disney, and they stream every Friday night there. And all they do is walk around the parks, and they talk. They have chats. They have like 300 people come on, and they'll chat to the different people. They have so many people chatting at them, they can't keep up with them. But we'll watch them. They pretty much do the same thing every Friday night. They'll walk around the parks and just talk to people. So it's 11 in Cleveland. Oh my gosh, that's cold.
So is it Cleveland, Indiana?
It's Cleveland, Indiana. Okay. It says Cleveland Inn. I believe that's Indiana. I know Cleveland, Ohio was what? Weren't they down to zeros? They were like below zero.
Yeah, this morning. Well, I don't know about Cleveland, but Worcester.
Well, whatever, in Ohio, they were down like below zero. I remember those days. I've been here in Florida for 20 years, and I remember a lot of cold days up in Ohio. I've seen 30 below zero, and I had enough of it. I moved to Florida. I love it. I had a lot of people say, "Oh, you'll move down to Florida. You'll be back in about a year." And it's been about 20, and don't care to even go back to visit myself because I love it here. It's a great place to live. Where we're at, we're about 20 miles from the beach. We can be over there in less than a half hour, be on the beach side right from Daytona. And there's a lot goes on around Florida. I mean, it's just a great place to live. Especially in the wintertime, there's a lot more. In the summertime, outside events, it's kind of like up north. There's not as many things going on outside because it's warm out. People stay in the ACs and that. But you can always do things around the water in the summertime and keep it cool. I mean, we got the ocean. There's a lake on every corner in Florida. If you take your drone up here and look at the landscape, there's just water everywhere in Florida. And so don't go very far without a lake, a pond, some kind of water. And so there's always ways to cool down in the summertime. We get hurricanes. Those they're not bad. I tell you what, I've been through snow blizzards that I found worse than a hurricane. So I've been through like 7 different hurricanes. We had what was this one this year called Matt? No, Irma. That was Irma. Irma came through this year. Damage wise, I had a big tree between my house and my neighbor's house, and my tree went over on top of his house. But luckily, it didn't come all the way down. There was a fence line, and they had one of these carports that you put together with a tarp, and it's got a metal framework. Kind of landed on that, and virtually did no damage to his house, but it was a chore cleaning up the tree. And the year before, we had Matthew, and it took a lot of the shingles off our roof. So we ended up getting a new roof. Insurance paid for part of it. Insurance is a big scam, especially in Florida. They have anytime they name a storm. I don't know if anyone has noticed this or not, but they name every storm. I guess this last little cold weather event, they've actually named this weather event, and I think the insurance company and the weathermen are in cahoots. So they have a huge deductible that kicks in. It's something like a $3,000 deductible as soon as they have a named storm. So whatever they estimate it costs for the damages, they knock $3,000 off right off the bat. So if you have any damages less than $3,000, if you had $2,500 of damage, they don't pay nothing, you know. And so it's really insurance scam. They talk about people scamming insurance companies. Insurance companies really scam people a lot because of all these different ways they handle it. A few people might disagree with me, but that's the facts, you know. So anyways, we got the hurricanes. Those aren't too bad to deal with. They're a little bit of cleanup afterwards there. I'll take a hurricane over a snowstorm any day. So I was hoping a few more people would pop in tonight. A lot of times I try to get an audience to start up and do some of these chats, because I think it'd be fun if we get several people in asking questions and stuff and just chatting about all kinds of different subjects. My YouTube channel, I do things from, I was making quite a few Roadtrek videos. It's if you're not familiar with a Roadtrek, it's a camper van, but they're really nice. They're tall enough you can walk around in it. They've got everything in them. Refrigerator, stove. They got the bathroom and shower. It's got a generator on board. I know I have some YouTube friends that actually live in them. But I did a lot of videos on those, and of course my RC videos I've done. I think I got over 100 of those in one of my. I have a category. I put everything in a category, so if anybody wants to look at a certain category of things. And I also like to do some do-it-yourself stuff. That can be all kinds of things. The security camera is kind of a do-it-yourself thing. It's a little job to put these up. I did mine, and then my friend had a system. He put it in, and I went up and helped him put it in. And then after you get them all set up, it's just the configuring part. Takes a little bit of work to configure them, you know. The worst part of putting the security system in was running our wires up through the attic. I forget what month it was now I put mine in, but it was still pretty warm here. And our attics will get up to 130 degrees up in the attic, and it was hot when I went up there. You plan your strategy, you climb through it. There ain't no place to walk, you know, and get out of there quick, because after a while you can't hardly breathe. But get your wires running back down to your DVR and all set up. But it didn't take me long. I strung mine all out first and kind of got an idea of where I wanted them. And I set, actually the way I've got mine set up, I mounted the cameras, 3 of them in pretty close to one spot. So when I ran the wires, I only had to go back to one area and run the wires down across. Kept me from doing it other ways. I think I did some installation video on it before showing how I did it. Now I'd like to change it a little bit. I didn't run my wires exactly the way I'd like to. I'd like to hit them a little bit better, and you know, and eventually I might do that. I might go and readjust them there and change them a little bit better so they I ran the wires kind of all one spot there, but it's working fine. We use it quite a bit. I hope Rick gets his all set up the way he likes it. It's a little bit there's probably a few more videos that I want to make, instructional videos on the system, and I found a program where I can film them. I did one of those. I filmed them by holding my camera up to like the computer screen, but I found a program where I can actually copy and go right to it, and it copies the screen, and I can narrate it. So you know, I think those come out pretty good. I hope everybody enjoyed those. They were a little more helpful on it. And what I try to do is find different sections of what I pretty much know how to do right way and do a video on it. Because a lot of times when I'm doing something, I'm just moving around. I'll try this, try that, try this, and try that until I find something that works. And I do a lot of things that way. Just search it out and try to see if that works or that works, and finally I'll get an answer if something will work. But a lot of times I'll forget how I did it. I have to go back and do it again because I can't remember what did I do to get there, you know. And I enjoy doing stuff like that. Anything to tinker with like that. I had a friend from our RC club that had a racing quad that he got it from Japan, really good price, but can't get it to work right. And he called me, wanted to know if I would look at it, see if I can get it going. So I'm going to get it off of him here next few days and monkey around with it. See if I can get it to go or not, you know. Oh, so, well, I thought I'd just pop on here and just see who was on. I'm glad to see Rick. Glad you came by. And I hope some of the chat we've done has helped you out in a way. I said, if you got any more questions, send me an email, or I said I'll continue to make some videos as I can with them there. And so I'm going to get out of here. So it's fun to kind of come out and just chatting a little bit on a Friday night there. So I'll have, I'm not sure what's for live or for a video I'll be putting up in the morning. I didn't make one this morning, but I have several I've filmed in the past. I'll be putting up something in the morning. So we'll see everybody next time. And I'm glad to see Rick show up for the chat again.
Bye, Rick.